Hello everyone, my name is Clementine. Welcome back to Clementine Creative. Today I have a video, more of a chill video. I think you can also maybe hear it from my voice. I had some work that I had to do, and now I'm just basically gonna chill and do. So now I'm basically just gonna chill and do some thumbnailing. I still have two characters that I need to thumbnail out for this Hunter series that I'm doing. It was going to be more of a project that I wouldn't really share on YouTube as a video format, but I decided, what the hell, I didn't want to do a more chill tutorial, or I'm not even sure if this is going to be much of a tutorial, but I guess more of a chill drawing video, because I am going to be doing a game time today where I played The Walking Dead Michonne, and I really want to concentrate on that a little bit more. If everything goes according to plan, you should have seen basically a time lapse of these two characters right here already happening. Now I'm just gonna move on these two. I'm gonna try to do them relatively fast. Hopefully I can get both in one real-time video. I hope it doesn't take too long. So that's not blabber. Let's just get into this. Like I said, it's gonna be more of a chill video. I'm not gonna try to be too I'm not gonna really try to teach you anything here. I guess what you could try to do is to see my process, and then maybe the process helps you out. Let's try with a different one. Let's try with deer antlers. We used them here before, but I'm gonna use them again. I'm gonna need more space up there though, so let's move these down a little bit. Alright, he's gonna have really huge antlers. I'm not drawing 100% accurate antlers. I have seen them, I know what they look like, but really I'm trying to get out the idea, and since I do know what it's supposed to represent, I'm not that, should I say, worried about the look. This is not normally, you don't show this to your clients even, except if you're a freelancer, you don't show them that. If you're in-house, it's kind of different. It's a tighter, I guess, family of even designers. Your art director pretty much knows what the hell is going on when he sees even rough drawings. And some clients, sometimes they don't, because the clients hiring you usually aren't like art directors. Maybe they aren't. They could be CEO, they could be anyone. It could be a secretary. You don't know, right? You don't know who's hiring you, so, or who's looking over these. So these are normally not shown, unless it's unless they request. But that's again a different story. Alright, just drawing some of these antlers. I had an idea for a video where I would draw traditionally a bit. I've went back into traditional drawing for a project that I am planning on doing. And it felt good. It felt really good to get back into traditional after 2 years. So yeah, hopefully, if you want to see it, what did I say? Hopefully, if you want to see it, I would definitely be very, very happy to make one. All right, so let's kind of cut that off there. Okay, not very hunter-ish, like something like this going on, and then he's got hair coming out from there. We're gonna add feathers to this, so it's like a helmet almost, but it's more something that you wear, like how Native Americans had these feather things. And I guess his hair behind there. So the second, and the third one are very similar to each other, I would say. But I am gonna make it different. This hair will now fall all on his body, right here on the side. So these are hunters, or at least they're supposed to be hunters. So I want to introduce some fur into this. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add some random strings up here. Just that's more of a visual thing. Add some little, I guess, ornaments. This could be like totems, I guess, a little bit. They could represent some sort of medallions or whatever for protecting. Right? Kind of tie it on there. And then we can make another one here. You can make some feathers going out here. But these are all the things that you later on refine. So right now at this stage you're really supposed to just think, what do you think it could look cool, right? So you're searching for the cool factor, which is very subjective, you know. I think that's what it's called. Cool could for you be something completely else than, you know, for someone different. Okay, so now I'm thinking, should I do want to put clothes on him, I think. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna throw in some crazy ass bone necklace right here. So it's just like a bone necklace and then another one like so. So like I said, they're very similar, but I'm gonna make sure that they're different so that you know that, oh, this is not just a copy of the second one. Some sort of a bone necklace. Alright. I have some different elements here, but again, add some, I guess, these could be called fangs. And just, you know, you add details, you add things that you think, and basically you add stuff that just works, you know, you works with it. You don't want to add some, let's say, okay, this, let's say an armor, right? Doesn't make any sense. They're hunters, they don't have armor. At least not the medieval kind. Alright, the next thing that we could add on is, let's just make a shoulder pad. So no armor, but he does have a shoulder pad, which we're gonna tie on. And sometimes when you're designing, it's good to think about things out loud. As you're, you know, I guess designing, you could basically hear yourself and maybe and you can solidify if your idea is actually good or bad, right? So there's a little bit of a, I guess it's a little bit more maybe reassuring. I don't know. You know, you do what you want to do. You don't have to do any of this thing. You can just be completely quiet. I'm usually very quiet. Like, I don't even say anything. I make some sound effects with my mouth, actually, which can actually help you out to make sound effects. Don't be embarrassed by things like that. Everybody in this business is a bit wacky, I would say. Alright, so you all have your own thing. If you like to do sound effects and that helps you achieve a great design, nobody will laugh at you. I mean, they might think it's strange a little bit, but I doubt it. Like, I mean, as long as you get the design done, and if that helps you out, that's actually a pretty good, you know, thing. So what I'm trying to do is, usually how these things were made is that the fur was on the inside, right? Well, I'm making a little bit of reverse here, where the fur is on the outside and on the inside. So I guess it's not reverse, but I'm just adding on top of that. I'm adding, I guess, fur on the outside and inside. So I guess I'm adding fur on one of the sides too, because I think I really like the, you know, the look that it gives. And really what I'm trying to show here is their use of natural resources. Something that normally is not done, right? You don't use natural resources for everyday life. I guess, don't get me wrong, you do use them, but you don't use at the extent as these hunters do. You know, practically they live off of nature, and so they are more grateful and more appreciative, and that's what they use. They don't use metal, which is also part of nature, but they don't use it as much because it's not something that you can gather and just use immediately. It's because we all know that metal is usually it's in a form of a rock, and you need to melt it. And they don't usually have smelters. Is that what it's called? I have no idea. But they don't have the necessary tools to be able to melt. All right, so the other hand is going to be a bit different. So I'm going to do all 4 of these, complete like line art and everything, and digital painting. So yeah, all of this is still going to come. The more, I guess, thought out designs. This is it's not badly thought out because there's a lot of information in here already, and you can make very decent designs with this. But some of the finishing touches, I would say, are gonna be established later on, because you can see that some of these muscles here are not right at all, right? They're facing completely different direction, but it's not something that I am concerning myself with at this point, because it's a thumbnail. So even if you mess up or whatever, you shouldn't have to worry, right? Don't worry about messing it up at this point, of course. You can always refine it later, and this point is really just design. Because that's what you're, in the end of the day, a lot of people think, myself included, thought that if you draw good, right, if you draw really nice, you will be contacted by, let's say, because we're already in the theme of hunters, and Far Cry Primal just came out. You're always thinking, okay, if I draw good, like really good, nice drawings, if my skill is good enough, maybe Ubisoft will contact me to work on their next game, right? But really, they first of all, they probably wouldn't do that. Also, they wouldn't just hire you because what you're doing is drawing and not really designing. Drawing is very little percentage of what you're technically supposed to do, right? Which is designing. Drawing is very little of the job of a concept artist. Drawing is merely a tool, and that is very hard to accept at first, that you generally are not being paid by drawing. So even if you draw a really sexy drawing of a... Okay, I'm gonna go with something that I guess people think that would be a good design. Let's say a babe in like a bikini, holding a Barrett sniper rifle, 50 caliber sniper rifle, and you're thinking, whoa, that's pretty sweet, right? And she has this awesome, I guess, design when it comes to like nice tits. So I guess that's not design, but nice boobs. And then I guess she looks sexy, right? And male audience will obviously appeal to that. But design-wise, people will be like, the hell, right? It's not a solid design. You're not really designing anything there. You're just drawing a chick with. It's like this. Feng Zhu said that designing that is very easy, and he explained it so well. I'm just gonna literally, I guess, I don't know what the English word is for that. I'm sorry. I forgot. It just escaped right from my head. He said that. Okay. He said that designing things like girls with big boobs, or just a tank, or just not a tank, maybe not a tank, but like a car with like guns on it. That is a very simple, like very easy to design, because the way he said it was because guns are already really awesome, right? You get a gun in your hand and you're like, that shit is awesome, right? And then you have cars, which, let's say you take a Hummer, right? You take a Hummer, and then you put a minigun on it. Like you put a minigun on the hood, like on two sides. On each side you put a minigun. That is really badass, right? Obviously. But the design behind it is very simple. I mean, you didn't have to think about a lot. You just put some of that on, right? You put some guns on a car and that's it. Whilst when you have to think things through a little bit more, that's when the things, that's when it becomes hard. That's when you realize that designing is not that easy. And it's not at all drawing, I wish that designing was as easy as drawing. I'm pretty sure that you can, if you draw semi good, you can definitely get a job already. Like I said, it's not about the drawings, so they definitely do look at like your drawing skill, but if you have some solid ideas that you can communicate well enough for people to understand, you're good. Like, you're good enough. As long as you got the ideas, right? Not the drawings. The drawings don't make anything. You can draw anything you want, but if it's like a copy of Master Chief, you didn't design anything. You literally copied something, which is actually worse than like copying something is worse than having a shitty design. Remember that. Don't copy stuff from people, even if it's like some random person on DeviantArt that you're pretty sure that, like, let's say they have like a really simple design. It's okay to take, I guess, inspiration from, I guess, simple designs, but inspiration is a lot of the times mistaken for copying. If you draw, let's say, what's a pretty popular game? Let's take it this way. Let's say you take Cloud from Final Fantasy, right? And you have Cloud, and then you take I don't know, you take Dante's sword and his guns, and you call that a fresh design. That is not what that is. What you did was copy someone else's work, and an existing work, which is really bad. You should never do that. You can get sued like that, if you sell that as your own. That's why a lot of, actually, I'm pretty sure almost all of the companies that will eventually decide to hire you have art tests. A lot of them, if not all, have art tests. Just to see if you actually are the person, or if the art that, I guess, the portfolio you submitted or that they saw is in fact yours, right? You could say that I don't know, something is like, you could go in the internet and just copy someone else's work and nobody would know. Like, you could literally take it. I'm pretty sure that you could find some images, and the person that you took images from wouldn't even know, and you might have gotten a job because, let's say, you have better marketing skills, right? That can happen, and if you don't, because they always have art tests to see. Okay, they give you basically, it's like almost like for a game. You get a description of, let's say, the, I guess, design job or whatever, and then you do it, and you have a set deadline, and you need to follow that deadline, and a lot of the stuff is already seen there. So if you get that chance, you should really give it your all, and not have any weird excuses of if you missed the date, you have any like really bad excuses why you couldn't make it. So now I'm drawing these spikes. These are actually okay, first let me just draw this. Had a pretty neat idea of what I wanted to do on this other side. What I'm drawing here is very simple form for feathers. So this person has a lot of feathers underneath there. So those spiky things there are, they're, I guess, the jungle vegetation. I guess the flowers, like bushes that have those spiky leaves, and they use that, I guess, on their clothing. It's waterproof, but the only reason why I guess I added here was because it looked kind of neat. So yeah. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is gonna make a full sleeve pants. I wanna tie it in the back of the knee, on the knee pit, I guess, which will tighten the thing in, and want to leave it here on the knee area so he can move his actual knee. You don't have to worry about 100% about exactly everything working. It's still a game. A lot of it is meant to entertain people anyways, so not everything is actually functional in games. Actually, like, most of the stuff you see is not at all functional in real life, but it works in a video game. It's close enough to reality to think that it could work. Just like this, you think it could work. So for all their shoes, what I'm doing is I'm placing a wood, I guess a wooden base for their feet to go on, and then just adding fur on top so they're nice and warm, and tying everything down, of course. And I'm gonna make this shoe be a little bit more covered than the other to make some differentials. Again, just a sketch. I'm not too worried. I'm gonna give him a sort of a machete, even though I don't think that they would have that, but I think it would be a pretty interesting element to see. Just a very basic machete, not even like not even that original, just a basic machete. Right? It's kind of short now, but I didn't want to obscure some of the designs that I have there. That's going to be like a bone, and just a blade stuck in the bone. And there we go. So this machete is going to be longer, but now I didn't want to obscure this part here. Again, this is a little bit of my process. I'm gonna do the next one in time lapse. I wanted to do a bit of a chill video this week, but I still wanted to produce something, so I decided to make more of a chill one. I promise that next week I'll be back with another more solid tutorial. But for this week, I didn't want to skip on any. I didn't want to skip on a video. I'm probably gonna film some of the stuff. My friend is gonna come over to my house. We're gonna play some games, and I'm probably gonna make a vlog. I'm gonna film it with my phone camera, so it's not gonna be as great. But we're probably gonna just jerk around, do some funny stuff, and hopefully it'll be be a good time, and you'll like what you see. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I've been getting a really nice support from my audience, or the people around the world watching my videos. It's great to see that you enjoyed them. If you want to see anything in particular, please leave a note in the comment section below. I appreciate it. I will try to do anything that you request me to. At least anything concerning characters. But yes, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. little bit of shadow. So no shadow is technically, you would be thinking, okay, so this is how it goes, right? Well, it doesn't go like this because there's no light source there. The light source is on top, right here.